Yo, what's going on, YouTube? It's time for the full guide to the Great Axe artifact, the Abyss. In this guide, I'll be breaking down how the axe works, as well as a Bruiser build and an Assassin build. If you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. Okay, getting into the axe itself. This axe has a pretty high skill ceiling, so practicing proper mana management and ability management will lead to more kills and a bigger impact. So, going over the perks, the Abyss has Magnify, which is great since you can use this axe with Strength or Intelligence. I know Magnify can be a pain, but it's good that this axe has it on it. Darkened Blade, this converts the damage to void damage. Abyssal Attunement, which is a 14% additional hit on top of the damage you deal to a single target, 14% more damage on a 1.5 second cooldown. Refreshing Move. Refreshing Move means this weapon should be your primary weapon to have out when in melee range. You want to do that so that way you can farm cooldowns. More cooldowns, more damage, more abilities. Now, the slot that you could choose. On this slot, you are realistically stuck between a weapon perk, depending on what your playstyle or build is. For example, Enfeebling Maelstrom or Crippling Reap, or a damage con, which is Thwarting Strikes, Thwarting Counter, or Vicious. I do go into what I would suggest later on in the video. Now on to the final perk, Abyss. So this perk is everything. Mastering this perk will elevate your gameplay with this weapon tremendously. So by ensuring that you are below 100% mana when using this weapon, you will increase your base damage by 15%. Now this is 15% separate from Empower. Again, it's base damage, so it stacks with Empower, which synergizes very well with the Great Axe since it has a ton of built-in Empower generation already. I will go into detail in each build how to properly manage this perk with your gameplay. Now this perk also dictates your offhand weapon. You want to have a mana spending offhand so you can effectively use this perk. If you are not using a mana burning offhand, you're trolling with this weapon. In my opinion, I do not recommend using Abyss in a serious build unless your offhand weapon can burn mana. The first build we're going to be covering is the Abyss Bruiser build. In this build, we are going to want 199 intelligence, 25 strength, 25 focus, and 350 con. We are going 199 intelligence to avoid the 200 intelligence perk. The 200 intelligence perk will basically keep you at 100% mana anytime you look at somebody in this particular build. Remember, being at 100% mana removes your 15% damage buff. Going 199 intelligence will easily keep you below 100% mana, letting you maintain the 15% damage buff easily while fighting. The 25 strength will buff our light attacks, and the focus will get our cooldowns back a little faster. Now, you can go Dex instead of focus for a little more crit chance. Either is fine here. Abilities we will be running on the Great Axe are Maelstrom, Gravity Well, and Charge. This is the same Bruiser build as the physical Bruiser. As an offhand weapon, though, we will be using Ice Gauntlet instead. On the Ice Gauntlet, we will be running Storm, Shower, and Entomb. The Ice Gauntlet build is designed to be as supportive as possible and as mana hungry as possible to help keep you under 100% mana as you fight. Keep in mind, you can also block to drain mana as well. As far as gearing goes, you're going to want to put Enfeebling Maelstrom on your Abyss. The Ice Gauntlet we are going for will have either Unending Thaw for the slow, Healing Tomb for the increased survivability, or Deadly Frost for the decreased cooldown on our showers. For armor, we are going with the Tumbler Shoes artifact. Until this gets nerfed or toned down, these shoes are still too strong to pass up. We are going to want to put health on those if possible. After that, in total, we want 5 health perks, 4 freedom, 3 grit ward, and 1 gravity well perk. You can drop a few grit ward if you would like for more Ice Gauntlet perks on your gear. This is up to you and your playstyle. For jewelry, for the amulet, we want Ankh as our artifact. We are putting stamina recovery on this. It is still the go-to for Bruiser builds. For the ring, we want void damage, hardy, and leeching. Earring, regenerating, refreshing toast, and then you have a choice between either healthy toast or fortifying toast. Now, this build fights very similar to your typical Great Axe Bruiser when your Great Axe is out in your hand. What you have to adjust is fighting with your offhand. Ice Gauntlet abilities need to be used correctly to set up your Great Axe. For example, using Ice Storm as you engage onto your enemy instead of Stat Pad. You want to use this as you are pushing into the fight so that your mana is down when your Great Axe is out. The Ice Shower can be used as an area of denial for enemy retreat or reinforcements, as well as CC on the clump mana burn. It's also very good for setting up kills on healers for your group. Entomb is our get out of jail free card. Use this to cleanse your debuffs and to survive. Remember, with Entomb, always left click out of the Entomb so you spend damage and do AoE damage in a slight knockback. Another tip to keep in mind is be aware of what your consumables are doing. Regeneration Potion and Regeneration Serums do regen mana as well. So keep that in mind when popping them to survive. They may put your mana at 100%. Okay, now we hit the Abyss Assassin build, which I call the Demon. This build is super high skill and a lot of fun. With the Abyss, we are going to be running Crippling Reap on the weapon. The skill tree that we want is going to be a Bloodlust build since we are specializing in single target damage and chase. We will be running Reap, Charge, and Gravity Well. For our offhand, you can run Fire Staff or Void Gauntlet. I would not run Ice Gauntlet in this build personally, as the cooldowns are super long and will slow down your damage ramp. In this video, I'm going to be focusing on the Fire Staff, as I think it's best. So for the Fire Staff, we want to run Burnout, Pillar, and Fireball. For attributes, we want 350 Intelligence, 25 Strength, 25 Focus, and 200 Con. This is going to give us high damage with our abilities and Vita attacks, as well as good cooldown return and decent health. As I said earlier, on the Abyss, we want the Reap perk. This perk is insane now that it's been buffed. On the Fire Staff, we want Empowering Fireball, Vicious, and Void Attunement. We will be using the Unyielding Helmet artifact. This allows us to trade with the other high crit builds, which are very common in OPR and outside the point in wars. After that, we will be running the rest of our armor as light with the following perks. We want 3 health, 4 freedom, and 5 shirking heals. Also, 1 Gravity Well perk. We will be using Ankh as our amulet with stamina recovery. Our ring will be void damage, hardy, crippling. Our earring will be nimble, refreshing toast, healthy toast. With this build, we want to be swapping back and forth between our weapons to keep our mana low and our health high. So, back off, throw out your Fire Staff abilities, do some heavy attacks, and then when the fight gets close, you can get in and get active with that Abyss. With the Abyss, you can chase until your mana's full, and then get back out with the Fire Staff and burn some mana again. Rinse, repeat. Remember, Fire Staff has low cooldowns, which help keep up with the Great Axe crits. Every time you crit, you gain mana. Once you're max mana, you can dump them with the Fire Staff again. It's a balancing act between your mana bar and your crits. Now, this build has so much mobility and so much damage. It is a ton of fun, and it's very, very strong in OPR if you are hard targeting healers. Same with War. This build is nasty. It has such great damage, such great chase. Healers struggle to survive against this build. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching the guide. I hope you learned a thing or two, and I hope this helps you going forward. Please, please, please help me. Like and subscribe. It actually does a ton for me. I'm getting super close to 500 subs, so please, please, please give me that like and subscribe. Also, with that being said, let me know what other videos you are interested in, man. This has been a blast cooking these videos up for the community. Let me know what else you guys want to see, and we'll see if we can make it work. Also, for the guy asking for the Rapier videos, I'm sorry, dog. Not going to happen. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one. Peace.